I've seen this video floating around, and I haven't watched it yet. Why Chris, this person, will soon be a nightmare for Mr. Beast. To my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Mr. Beast enjoyer, as it were. Chris's pronouns are any, all. A lot of people I've seen defaulting they, them. Is a trans friend and I think co-content creator of Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast put out a tweet not too long ago where he said, I'm starting to get sick and tired of the transphobia. Which, let's talk about that for a second. Mr. Beast got some flack recently for doing the charity eyeball shit. Although, you know, his fans didn't listen to the criticism that was actually being levied, which is just like, you know, it highlights the shittiness of the system, and Mr. Beast plays a role. Also, you know, his sus business practices with the kitchen and whatever. Anyway, he also doesn't understand, you know, anything about Squid Game, which was annoying. So he's been getting he every once in a while he gets a little shit, but he said in a tweet, he's to someone who was giving Chris some shit on the internet, and obviously trans rights, if you're here, obviously. I think it went without saying, but I guess maybe I'll say it. I am Team Chris here. Getting some hate on the internet for obvious fucking internet stupid reasons, and then Mr. Beast replied, I'm starting to get sick of the transphobia. Which is it's a good thing. We like it when, you know, people have to feel the need to stand up and advocate for people. And it's obviously like 100% a good thing that Mr. Beast is behind that. He's massively popular. You want the kids that tune in, that like Chris already, and that still do, to have, you know, a good time watching Mr. Beast videos, knowing that, you know, Chris is just a normal fucking person that's just expressing in a way that some people aren't used to. And it's really good to normalize that, and it helps. It helps in a lot of ways. It's really dope. And then there's also this component of like people get a little annoyed that there is general political apathy when it comes to not just this topic, but especially this topic right now. People not speaking out or using their platform to just have some solidarity. You don't have to do anything crazy. But obviously, I think no matter how non-political you want to be, shit's political. It's a weird time. And I think, personally, although I am a politics Twitch doer, and I know not everyone's comfortable with it, you have a responsibility, in my opinion. Mr. Beast has been doing things for he does charity stuff all the time. There were memes going around. Mr. Beast pays for people's transition surgeries or whatever. Fucking actually do it. That'd be amazing. It would be a really great opportunity to not just advocate for people, but also like normalize and be like, look, people are happy when this goes through, and like this is a good thing, and we're just trying to make people comfortable with themselves, and for you to have an opinion on how someone else is comfortable with their own body is just fucking asinine. Anyway, there's an aspect of I'm personally, and I'm sure a lot of other people are personally, not annoyed, but you sort of go like, okay, you did the good thing. Can we acknowledge, however, that it shouldn't take being personally impacted to be an advocate? Please. It would be nice. I'm glad that when Hannah came out, we were already openly, advocates, because we didn't know, obviously, until she told us, and although we knew something was going up because she was uncomfortable and stuff, and then shaved, and was being a little. I remember. Can I tell you a story about when my friend transitioned? I remember she had for a while, if you remember the old content, there was a beard watch for her, and I remember her making I think we've talked about this before, but I remember her making a big deal about growing a beard, and she was like, hey, do you think it looks good? I'm like, yeah, looks good. Do you like it? And she was like, yeah, I guess, yeah. I was like, okay. And then it was like a big deal. And it was like, it struck me, but I never thought of it twice, right? And then the beard was such a big deal. And then one day she came and she had shaved it completely. And it was like, okay. And she didn't really mention it. And we sort of like made some jokes and stuff back and forth. And then that was that. We had talked about it after the fact. And like, obviously, you know, there were reasons that the beard was a big deal and, you know, hindsight and stuff. And anyway, I just think, I don't know. I'm glad that, after the beard. Yeah, maybe. I'm glad that she had a situation to come out that wasn't as bad as her family or whatever. And I hope that Mr. Beast is providing that well. It seems like Chris has lots of support though. So anyway, that's my preface going into this. Just because I don't know, I've covered the Mr. Beast stuff, and there's like centrists and righties that sort of like hover around my content a little bit. Not like they watch like a hawk, just like, you know, it'll come up and they'll comment from time to time. And I get these shitty little boys like being like, Mr. Beast, you just fucking hate Mr. Beast so much. It's like, I don't know where they've ever gotten the idea that I hate Mr. Beast. I guess because like some internet lefties were very mad at Mr. Beast, but I'm more groany about it. I groan. Mr. Beast is fine. I'm sorry, your Mr. Beast guy isn't perfect, man. It's no big deal. Paper cuts. Anyway.
And however, it may also provide.
I didn't know he was going to say words. Let's turn him down just a touch, too. Just a touch. All right, this is Sunnyv2, who I know nothing about, but I imagine has shitty opinions.
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for Mr. Beast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama.
The drama. Characterizing a person just being themselves as drama is such fucking dog shit. Like, what a loser, dude. The drama. Ugh.
We're explaining exactly how this will impact the Mr. Beast channel. In mid-2000s...
Yes, I'm very worried about how Chris's transition will affect the Mr. Beast channel. I love the framing of this is something being done to Mr. Beast.
2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential Southern...
I guess you can't really misgender, but I think there's an obvious...
gun and truck loving dude. Yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display...
Uh-oh. Painted nails. Uh-oh. That's what does it, by the way. Once you have painted nails, you're trans.
Increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech."
Can I say, those look... I like the matte black. It looks nice. I don't like having stuff on my nails, but I've had my nails painted before. It made me gay immediately. Sucked immediately. I was like, ooh, dicks, men, ooh, chests, burly. And then as soon as it came off, I like pussy again. It was wild.
Additionally, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start of the pandemic, which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs I had to prove I was myself because I, quote, look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?"
What's with the horror music? No, Peckles, thanks for the 100 biddies. I mean, I know what's with it, but it's just so stupid. Someone is expressing their gender identity in a way that I don't, and it doesn't concern me at all. But I cannot deal with the problems of my own life. And so therefore, I'm going to take it out on trans entertainer because that will make me feel like a big man. It does make that's what makes me feel like a big man is when someone else is doing a thing that I wouldn't do, and I go, I wouldn't do that. It makes me feel like a very big, large man with a thickie.
Prompting replies such as, "You went from man to boy."
And that was probably so fucking validating.
Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and eating better." Yet
honestly though, this is true as well. Taking my mental health seriously includes an examination of your identity and who you are and what makes you happy in life. If it turns out, look, I know that the big lefty agenda is to make everyone gay, but check it out. If you have some thoughts about, like, hey, what's going to make me happy? Everyone should think about this, by the way. What makes you happy in life? Most of the time, people will respond with stuff like my pets, my family, my art, my hobbies, my friends, stuff like that, which is, of course, the correct answer. Most people, that's what they like. And I think being happy is most people's, like, thing they want to do, right? No matter what it might be, I feel like the goal is to be contented and happy, and, you know, in whatever way that means. Even if it's like your own discomfort for the sake of someone else's contentedness, it brings you contentedness, and, you know, it's a whole thing. Your personal identity and how you express is obviously deeply tied to your personal contentedness. I strongly urge everyone to assess this aspect of themselves, not just gender or anything, but just, like, take a self-assessment and be like, hey, am I doing stuff that makes me happy? What doesn't make me happy? And then, of course, have executive dysfunction to, like, really chip away at the big ones on your list. But you can get some small ones, you know?
His Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more...
No, Bruce Wayne. I am not dyeing my beard like you, but you deserve gender-affirming care as well. I think my beard looks good right now. I get a little gray somewhere in my chin.
feminine.
I now have lethal weapons at all times.
With this same kind of look showing up in his Mr. Beast appearances. For example, on the 6th of January 2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother." Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails? Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?"
By choice. Gleefully, it would seem. That's how.
While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay.
Carl, is Carl gay? I don't know what a Carl is. Is a Carl a Mr. Beast member that is gay? Or did Carl simply paint the nails that made the gay? How does the gay happen? As a straight, I'm not able to understand your ways. Is that actually how it works? You guys paint each other's nails and then you're gay? Because that's what happened to me, but I'm not gay, so I don't know. You know, is it gay to be happy? Happy? I don't want to be happy. When you get bitten by a gay? Oh. Sarah bites me all the time. Fuck. I'm fucked. She bites me constantly. Does it work if wait. Does it have to be... Do we have to share a gender? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, this was pretty ridiculous, as Carl isn't even that feminine, and Chris had come out as bi-
Carl's not feminine, and everyone knows when you're gay, you're feminine. I've been openly bisexual since 2020. I did get my gay piece.
Bisexual years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails.
Oh no. It is 100% fine if your marriage doesn't work out, guys. It's okay. I didn't know Chris got divorced over a year ago. I didn't know this because I don't watch Mr. Beast stuff. But also, I don't care if they chose to not be together anymore.
Chris confirmed the split in a post from March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated. We
are finalizing things soon, but these things take time. We like to keep our personal lives private. which is a lot of people don't understand because we share so much, but this is the only time I want to
It
discuss
has the juice?
Fair. It's only ridiculous because he isn't that effeminate, not because it isn't impossible to turn people gay. Obviously, that's the only issue with the TikTok. Thank you, Sunny. That's true. You guys can turn me gay, obviously. If ever, like, people biting me apparently turns me gay. Fuck. Wait, if I get bitten... If I get bitten by a gay... If I get bitten by a straight person who's totally straight, does that undo it? Can I become aware straight? Okay.
With this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end.
Transition, not transformation. Although, I mean, glow up situation.
Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
Based. Yeah, I'm in. I don't know if that's true, but I'm in. That's what Chris wants.
As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self, he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this.
Yeah. Looks great? That's a look? Hello? If Tom Hiddleston wore that, you'd be like, slay king.
Before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which according to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders.
You had to do a Google search for that?
Chris would expand on this by stating, informed consent HRT.
Did he say after a quick Google search so he didn't sound like he already knew? I totally didn't know that that's what HRT was, obviously. I would never... I don't know that.
He saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC people have to jump through to get life-saving gender-affirming healthcare in a first world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies.
Fucking bars. Couldn't say it better.
Which received a positive response from both Carl and Mr. Beast.
Got you? Wow, true.
Who wrote, "Got you, I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend." While his co-workers expressed positivity, others weren't so welcoming. There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Weak man times.
That's right, Evan. Evan will be on the front lines of creating the new good times. The good times with the good boys. You know who has good times? People that hang out with me. Because I'm dope. And I'm one of these weak boys, he thinks. Trevor House of Belmont, thank you so much for giving one to Cotton Kitsch. I appreciate that. Paying forward the one you got earlier today. Thank you.
Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love."
Bars. I've said this before, and I think it's true. Trans happiness and like, I'm sure other people said this shit too. Like being happy as fuck and just like being yourself in public, like live in a way that would make people like Matt Walsh and Evan here be pissed, right? That you're just fucking happy. Okay, that's the best thing you could ever do, is be happy and trans and make these people mad. Or, you know, whatever, if you're not trans, happy and just fucking defiantly happy in spite of not living like they want you to. Whatever it means. You can be straight, but you can be like fucking, I don't know, like a scene kid or something. I don't know, you can have fucking gauges. Maybe you want to be a lizard like that lizard guy that I like to use as an example of freedom of expression. You want to be a lizard? I want you to be a lizard, dude. Like literally, the attack helicopter meme, I don't give a fuck. Yes, I genuinely, truly think that your stupid straw man of trans identities is a totally valid identity if you want to be that. But no one does, obviously, because you couldn't possibly just interact with. They have to go all the way to attack helicopter to validate someone wanting to paint their nails.
It has the juice?
Their little tiny brains can't conceive of it. Just be happy. Who gives a fuck what they think, bro? This is some disgusting, bizarre parasocial shit. Transvestigating someone under the worry that your favorite content creator's best friend's transition will hurt their success. I mean, the creator even came out in their defense of the friend. What do you think you're fucking doing? You're no fan. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the 100 biddies, by the way. I mean, as a person with fans, you don't have to be like slovenly. You have to be like ride or die. Okay, you don't have to. If I do something that pisses you off, I get it. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's happened before. It'll happen again. But I do think, obviously, you're right about everything. I think you're 100% right. It's incredibly parasocial. Transvestigating is gross. If any of us were this fixated on you, it would be incredibly weird. Yeah, I mean, I have people that are fixated on me like this. It's pretty weird. You could be like, I don't know, like, I got some pretty big psychos. Jake wore a different shirt today. He must be going through some shit. Oh, that's even more speculation. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's way worse. Yeah. They make a lot of fucking content. What corn thing? What are you talking about?
I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him. In a way, this was for Tucker.
They're not going to like that. But yeah, I think I agree. I think as someone who has had to be in the position, I don't have my own kids. But, you know, when you go to school for teaching and stuff, and I've had partners with kids, you know, you're in the position of taking care of them for a while. You can just see, like they fucking need you to show up and be competent every day. And if you are, like, the description that trans people give for the experience of things like dysphoria and, you know, just general mistreatment stuff, like, it's so frustrating just to watch third party. I mean, I can't even imagine what it is firsthand, right? So, like, it's hard to be a qualified, like, caretaker of someone when you're in anguish about stuff. Like, you know, whatever it might be. You could be depressed, you could be grieving, you could be, I mean, just dysphoric every day. Like, yeah, this is good shit. Of course, right? Of course.
Chris's response received some positivity, such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life. As well as, I adore that, I'm glad you made that decision. It's so much easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty.
Zesty? I'm suspicious about Abir Hassan's political persuasion.
He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his house, a life full of difference and being alone.
Sounds like a kid.
Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure?
Depriving a father figure. I actually don't know what that means. So, would you rather have someone that, like, doesn't have their shit together, but is, like, aesthetically what you expect a father to look like? Or, like, has their shit together and wears clothes that you wouldn't, like, a father figure. What do you think fathers do, bro? What do they think fathers do that people don't teach them? Like, Chris still likes the same things Chris liked before. I don't know, dude.
Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which received praise from Mr. Beast as well as Nolan and Carl.
Common YouTube W. A hot take from Mr. Beast. This is the hottest take he has on the subject, is that YouTube has a W when it comes to validating trans people or ensuring their fair treatment on the platform.
However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe.
Hope you come out of this safe. M Alpha. Dude, everybody with an alpha in their name, bro. This is the best. These guys... Is this guy an actual content creator? Love it. Does this person do... Because this has a little traction, although it could be because it was associated with it, but you're glowing. But also Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh bank every day. That's right.
Mr. Beast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which the original commenter would state, "I have 30
never mind, trash.
followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life."
Ruin his own life. I would love to be friends with this person for 3 seconds. It took me to defend the person in my friend group that they were being shitty to.
In some ways, it was nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example, in a recent livestream titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes," Chris would once again dress...
Oh no, it only got 4 million views in 4 days during a live stream? I'm sure Mr. Beast and company hates the controversy.
in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in the room, and therefore everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh my god, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well. It looks just like you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind, Mr. Beast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice.
Is this weird? I don't know. I don't know how Mr. Beast's Feastables chocolate stream is usually.
Shirt. Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as fodder for another 100 million views worth of drama and criticism.
Sure, transphobia is going to happen. This guy's video is going to get a lot of. He's not. Is he getting panned by everyone who watches this?
Likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen? Yes. Well, maybe. It's difficult.
Not maybe. Yes, definitely, for sure. No one's gonna give a shit. It's no one gives a shit. This is a huge fucking chat screen. Mr. Beast. Give me some of your money. I would like a huge chat screen. That'd be fun.
Difficult to say as the situation is.
Put it behind me, dude. I put it back there. I do have another TV in here I think I'm not using. Actually, I think it's broken. In this multi-hour unscripted live stream, I found 10 seconds of awkward conversation. Therefore, we've never had awkward conversation on this stream. Never one time have we had anything but 100% balls to the wall, pedal to the metal content. Okay? It's never been weird. Maps and Mimics, thanks for the 24 months, dude. 2 years. Yeah, happy to help. I'm glad you were cool enough to Get sucked into the right wing. Guy only makes videos speaking into a mic and doesn't do live content. Surprised when someone sometimes lives. Live content is slightly awkward. You said sontent and it fucked me up.
Fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable
If Chris continues to transition, whoops,
to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience.
Pick up new personality traits. So when you're trans, you level up and you get access to different perks. And then you get to pick, it's like an RPG, and you get to pick your way up the skill tree. Yeah, you actually get a new brain, that's right.
This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos.
Value to the videos? What does that mean? Oh, ye foolish mortals, it is I who is the king of awkward conversation. True. Thanks for the 50 biddies, Dr. Gamble. Also, Mr. Whiskers for biddies. This dude bought his personality from the dollar store. That's right.
MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway. And if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended.
LGBT characters. That's what Chris is. That's right. That's fascinating stuff.
And is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video.
The premise of the MrBeast has been affected.
On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although...
The silent majority. Showing his ass, isn't he? Sheesh. We're the silent majority. Okay. Because living your truest self is the silent majority. The Kraken, it's about to happen. LGBT. Yeah, well, he is angry. He's very mad at MrBeast. Chris Beast.
As we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly...
Dude, what if you were an even silenter majority? True. Value to the videos equals only transition for monetization. Did Dave teach you nothing? That's true. The grind. You need it. You need it. I am forced, say on the Forbidden One, to allow the phrase burn the trans so people can read your comment. Gay, okay, but burn the trans on the stake, says the silent majority. True.
Amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my views if I got it.
The problem is this type of situation is probably the last thing that
bend over
MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy.
Manipulating the situation? What a weird fucking way to think about stuff. MrBeast has said, he didn't say nothing, he said that he agreed. MrBeast is totally can disagree with this. He would make an incredible amount of money shifting to a right-wing grifter. I just don't think that he is that. I think he's a capitalist grifter. Very different. But his grift is like content creation, so it's not even like that unethical. MrBeast doesn't piss me off the way like a Ben Shapiro pisses me off. MrBeast makes me groan, like I said. I don't hate MrBeast. MrBeast makes me groan at the disgusting state of the capitalist system. That's all. He is one of Jimmy's longest friendships. Well, no. How can Jimmy manipulate it to his advantage? How can Jimmy manipulate this?
It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast.
It isn't a lose-lose situation. It is a win-lose situation, and he is currently winning.
I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real.
Damn. True. What a What a reliable source of information.
An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama, which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would come with obvious severe repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new normal within the content, thus
Yeah, within the content, within just real life, within the content. The content, that's what it's about. The way these people fucking think about YouTubers and stuff, bizarre shit. What was the last one? You can tell he's weirded out. All right. If you are not a trans person and one of your friends is trans, okay, I'm going to give you permission, het, cis person, I'm going to give you permission as a fellow het and cis, okay? I'm going to give you permission right now not to be like these guys. You don't have to. You do not have to hold on to the idea that your aesthetics have something to do with like the quality of a person. like some people like to dress up, some people are a little schlubby, some people like, you know, they're just all different. Your decision to religiously stick to like, I'm wearing a hoodie and basketball shorts and Jordans and a hat. And you know, that's what I'm gonna get I'm gonna get I'm gonna get this exact haircut or something, or maybe one without the sideburns the kids are doing. Stop doing that. It really is sort of like, it doesn't look good on like anybody in my opinion. But you know, I'm a boomer now, so you gotta go higher up or lower. You can't just do the anyway. You don't have to be like this. Man, I understand if you're not used to a friend expressing themselves the way that they feel comfortable with because they were scared to tell you before, dude, and you're like a little fucking like, oh my god, I can't believe there's someone there wearing a fucking dress, dude. It's like you probably have classmates or something, maybe, I don't know. These feel like Zoomers, dude. I don't feel like there's backlash. Just fucking be yourself, man. Who gets hung up about this stuff? Babies, baby brains.
Thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer Mr. Beast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy.
How this might impact Jimmy. Fuck Jimmy. Fuck Jimmy. If Jimmy, who gives a fuck? What do you mean? It's not about Jimmy. Jimmy is a secondary character here, not the main character. Secondary. God. This guy, dude. This guy. I have no idea how this is true, but it's totally true. There's a segment of the population that just doesn't have brains. They're not capable of thinking. They're not capable of being talked to get them to think. Like, they can't be revved up. They're just fucking dead. They're dead brains.
Forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
That's how you end it. Drama. All right. I guess that's the end of the drama video. What a shitty video, bro. Yeah. This is I mean, obviously, this guy made this so that he can get a bunch of views and stuff, and he did, and it worked. And he'll get his bag on this, and he'll probably cover it more times. In fact, did he cover it more times? Or is that the last one? Nope, that was the last video. There's one a week. One a week. Rough, dude. Biggie, 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 biggie. It's Miko. It's Miko. What a hungry baby, dude.